For me, mental health is about being in tune with yourself. It's about knowing what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what brings you down, how you're feeling right now. It's about giving yourself time to listen to that inner voice. And if that voice is telling you that things just aren't quite right, it's about knowing there are other people out there who will listen, who do care, and can help you to re-find a balance.
Mental health problems can affect all of us, with most people dealing with some symptoms at some point in their lifetime. Statistics show that 1 in 4 people will suffer from a mental health problem in any given year. More common problems like anxiety and depression can often happen because people are dealing with big changes within their life, whether this be within their home life or their work life. Research suggests that women are more likely to suffer from mental health problems than men, and that younger adults up to the age of 25-30 are more likely to suffer than older adults do.
Hi everyone, so I've been asked a question for the mental health first aid group, and that is, how can you tell if someone has poor mental health? It's a really difficult one to answer, I suppose, because you have to know some people to determine if you feel they are suffering at that point in time. People hide things and mask things very easily. I think that's why it's important in teams that we all look out for each other. By knowing people better and getting to know people better, you will be able to recognise it easier. Could be simple things. Moreover, you'll find that people become quieter, more withdrawn, or sometimes even a little bit happier or more bubbly or outspoken, and that can be an anxiety that comes out. So yeah, it's pretty difficult to put your finger on what it could look like. It could be somebody doesn't eat as much, somebody's work suffers, and that could be through volumes dipping, not being able to manage calls so easily, managing relationships within the business, not hitting deadlines that you've asked them for. They've not asked for help on something that might be a particularly tricky project. So yeah, a bit of a tough one to answer. You could see, especially when you know your teams and you know the people who you work with, you might even see differences in their eating habits, their drinking habits, when they talk about what they may have done on the weekend. And it may be that they have stayed in bed all weekend. They may even take a lot more time off. They won't always admit that it's something to do with work. They won't always admit it's something at home that's causing some poor mental health. But yeah, there's many warning signs to look out for, but particularly when you know somebody. Some people will actively ask for help through the mental health first aiders. Some won't. I think that's why it's important that just as you're walking around the business, when you're back in the office, you just say a passing hello, get to know other people. And even when we're working from home, you may hear somebody say something about a person who you might know distantly, you know their name and they've mentioned, but get in touch with them and just ask how they are perhaps. And just say, following the mental health first aid emails we've got, that we're being a bit more proactive and helping each other. And that's kind of what I do. You'll probably see me sitting a lot in Newcastle where the lifts are. I find it's a really good place for people just to start a conversation, whether that's a quick hello, and then you ask, how are you? And that actually brings a lot of people out to say different things. So the question being, how can you tell someone has poor mental health? You can't always. So be kind to yourself if you don't catch any signs, but certainly do look out for differences in people who you know well and get to know other people. Thank you, bye.
What are some of the warning signs of someone suffering from poor mental health? In honesty, the list is endless, but the signs could range from a number of different things. These can include problems sleeping, emotional outbursts, feeling anxious or even worried, weight or appetite changes, someone being quiet or even withdrawn, feeling unhappy or depressed, a change in your performance at work, changes in behaviour or feelings, or even feeling guilty or worthless. Thank you.
I think there's a number of ways to start a mental health conversation. I think it's important to keep the conversation informal and to ask the person how they're feeling, and you may need to ask that question more than once. Also, being open to talk about your own feelings is a positive way to start a conversation.
Hi everyone, hope you're all okay. Speaking to somebody with poor mental health about anything or everything could mean you're their safe place. It means somebody's there who actually gets them. We need to break the stigma. Stay safe.
There is no single cause for depression, but there are risk factors that can increase the likelihood of you getting it. There is a genetic link, so it is more prevalent in some families than in others. It's also more prevalent in the winter months. There's something called seasonal affective depression, where you only get depression in the winter months and then you're fine in the summer, and this is due to the cold and the dark associated to the winter months. Life events definitely also have a part to play. Anything that can be a stressor in your life, money issues, job issues, bereavements and loneliness, these definitely all have a part to play.
Hi everybody, some good stress management techniques are making sure you exercise at a good level, making sure your diet is nice and healthy, reduce your caffeine intake and your alcohol intake, write your thoughts down, try and think positively, speak to your friends and family over the phone or FaceTime or Zoom, anything that you feel works for you. And always try and take a positive out of every day, even if it's really hard to find. No matter what you're going through, somebody will help you and be kind to you.